In plain view, over and over. Speed up to is far from over. In plain view, over and over. Join me to game is not over.
Welcome, everyone, and I mean everyone who loves games everywhere, to the 2022 USC Games Expo, brought to you by Jam City. And when I say brought to you by Jam City, I literally mean that, because we couldn't do this and share all our student games that were built this year all across our program with all of you without the support of our good friends at Jam City.
Hey everybody, all of us at Jam City are so proud to be part of the USC Games Expo. And from what I've seen, this year's games are bigger and better than ever. Congratulations and good luck. And as a fellow Trojan, I can't wait to see all of you in the gaming industry.
We were all born to fight. We all follow one simple law. Kill. Or be killed. But through your power, Mother, some laws can be broken.
There's a lot of really exciting things going on at USC Games right now that I want to quickly share before we start, because this fall we start our new degree in game art and animation. We're incredibly excited about that. The following year, we have a new degree in themed entertainment, covering the themed industry, including museums, retail, all the places where immersive storytelling is going on, because that's kind of what we're about here at USC Games, telling stories through player interaction in the software built by our many students who are joining the program. And next year, we'll have 90 students joining our program, and we're growing because our program is a joint program with the Viterbi School of Engineering and the USC School of Cinematic Arts, which means all of you can join us through two different ways, through the School of Cinematic Arts, through the Viterbi School of Engineering, and we all meet together in this place called USC Games that you're gonna visit with us today for the next up to 10 hours of programming. And in addition to these new programs, we're also bringing support in the name of the Gerald A. Lawson Fund for Black and Indigenous Students. We're able to bring this support with the help of our friends at Take-Two Interactive Entertainment and Microsoft Xbox Game Studios. As a matter of fact, our friends from Microsoft Studios will be here sharing a lot of information and ideas in a panel later on this afternoon. I also want to let everyone know that all of our student games are downloadable and playable, and it's just our great privilege to share this work that they've all worked so hard on, both at school, at home, online, as we've navigated our way through the pandemic really successfully, thanks to the hard work of our students and our fantastic faculty. So with that, I want to welcome everyone to the USC Games Expo 2022, and I want to introduce our great friend and supporter, Jeff Keighley.
Thank you so much, Danny. It's such a highlight for me every year to be here at the USC Games Expo. I went to USC a couple decades ago and graduated, and there was certainly not a video game program like there is today. So Danny, thanks to you and the faculty and staff of the USC Games group for all that you guys do for the gaming industry. And I love doing this event every year because it inspires me to think about the future of where our industry is going. Every year at the Game Awards, we do these big awards for big games, but we also love to celebrate the smaller games, the independent games. We have a category, Best Debut Indie Game, and I'm always thinking about who's next. And when I look at a lot of these games that we're going to show you today, these are the developers and the individuals who I hope will go on to create more games and more projects that ultimately will go on and win awards at our show and just reach people around the world through the power of games. So it's such an honor for me to be here taking a look at these projects. It inspires me, not only the games, but the individuals who are making the games. And today, you're going to hear from those game designers and developers who have spent a lot of time and effort on their own as part of the curriculum, building their own games. And today is about showing you those games for the first time, and getting a chance to hear from the creators behind them. So I'm going to go through 6 games today, which are some of the best projects that have come out of USC Game School this year. And we are going to start with a very special title, which is called Social Moth. This is a beautiful game. I love the art style on it, and it's a narrative platformer where you play as a small moth, hence the name, contending with social anxiety. So there's a little bit of a human element to this as well. Set in a close-knit community on the forest floor, the game allows the player to explore themes of mental health, relationships, and finding a sense of belonging. So looks beautiful, but it has a deeper meaning to it. There's a forest floor, as we mentioned. That's kind of where you play the game, and you communicate with the other insects in the community, and you have to sort of grapple with healthy and unhealthy thoughts while dealing with social anxiety. So socially anxious moth, and similar to like a Psychonauts game, if you've played that from Tim Schafer, where you're kind of dealing with, you know, your fears and your doubts. With this one, there are physical manifestations of that anxiety in the form of horrifying monsters that you obviously have to defeat. And it's a really beautiful looking game, and it has a deeper meaning. And one thing that I did want to mention is that the development team actually consulted with a friend of the USC Games program, Dr. Jeffrey Newell, to ensure the depiction of social anxiety was accurate and helpful. So a deeper meaning to this game, but also incredible gameplay, absolutely beautiful. So let's hear from the team behind Social Moth.
Hello and welcome to the USC Games Expo 2022. Thank you so much for tuning into the live stream and for watching all of the incredible games on display at the show today. My name is Ben Hyde and I'm the creative director of Social Moth, one of the advanced games projects that's been in development for the past year at USC. Social Moth is a narrative platformer about a small moth contending with their social anxiety. The game takes place in a close-knit community on the forest floor and allows players to explore themes of mental health, relationships, and finding a sense of belonging. Social Moth is a game developed by a majority neurodivergent team in hopes of transcribing possible experiences of those with social anxiety. Through a year of development in the USC Advanced Games program and consultation with clinical psychologist Dr. Jeffrey Newell, the team has tuned the game to provide a smooth, accessible experience that acts as a compelling vehicle for the story of Alatris. Now, without further ado, let's jump into the tutorial to see how the team managed to capture these themes in the game's mechanics.
Huh? Where am I? It's so dark out. I need to get home.
The core gameplay of Social Moth combines a responsive platforming experience with thought choices that the player can make during interactions with NPCs. The player begins the game with a basic jump and wall jump, but will gain other platforming abilities as the story progresses. Alatris has a meter that shows the player their current anxiety level. This level will increase constantly whenever they are away from the comfort of their home. They can affect this anxiety level by picking up grounding collectibles and interacting with other bugs.
Is someone there?
Anxious thoughts like these two options will increase your anxiety.
Hello? Excuse me?
Alatris, where were you? What happened?
Did I do something? Are they angry at me? I'm sorry. I should leave.
Stepping back and choosing self-forgiving thoughts will lower your anxiety.
Oh no! Not more people!
Alatris, are you okay?
I'm thinking about this wrong. I need to breathe. People aren't scary. It's in my head. Everything will be fine.
Players will be able to steer Alatris towards self-forgiving thoughts to help them navigate through the world, or choose the anxious thoughts that may seem to more naturally come to mind for them. As the game progresses, players may find themselves shifting their tendencies, but I'll leave that to you to decide how you'd like to play.
something that can overwhelm many, if not all of us at times. And although this is an already relatable theme to many, we wanted to also make sure that our game could be enjoyed by as wide of an audience as possible. We strove to create an accessible production environment by letting our team members join either in person or online. We also tried to be encouraging and supportive of each other and provide room for growth. And we hope that that spirit carried forth to our players as well.
Oh, hello. I've never seen you around here. I'm Hematera. Did you know the newest Papillon Lunaire novel just came out?
Oh no! This book seems very excitable and energetic. What do I do? What do I say?
As this game was being made, I really saw the care they took to make this an accurate portrayal and to be thoughtful about how they developed the game. When I was brought in, some of the things we did together were talk about how social anxiety forms, how it's treated, and what that experience is like for someone who has it. I went over worksheets that are used in therapy with people who have social anxiety, and the developers were able to build some of these principles right into the game. For instance, there's collectibles that the character gets, which are based on grounding principles from sensory self-soothing exercises that people with social anxiety will often do. As a clinical psychologist, this game was really appealing to me because it gives a very accurate portrayal of some of the common fears and daily experiences people with social anxiety have. Also, it provides a really good lens through which someone can learn about what does the world look like for someone with social anxiety. I recommend this game to anybody who wants to learn more about this disorder, what it looks like, and I really think it's fun for everybody, including the most colorful and gregarious social butterflies.
Great. Another kid to mess up my shop. Hey, you gonna buy something or what?
Oh no! I must have done something wrong! I'm so sorry. I was just going to browse.
Browsing's for libraries, kid. Buy something or leave me be.
Come on, Don Dex. Let's go.
Oh, I thought you liked lamps, though.
Next, we'll see Electrus quickly falling into a state of utter panic when confronted by an unexpected interaction with Dondax's friends. You'll see Electrus's anxiety meter fill to the brim as they come face to face with the monster that appears when they're completely overwhelmed by their social anxiety.
Think you can handle one last challenge?
Yeah, I don't feel that tired. So what's next? Asking an elderly pillbug about her day?
A little more intensive than that.
What do you mean by...
Yo, Donnie!
What?
Crack, Benny, you guys made it.
This little dude's the bug you were hyping up?
What's your name again?
This is Alexis. Big man over there is Crack, and that's Venatoria.
Oh, that's right. I've seen you around before. I like your wing pattern.
Oh, thank you.
What'd you say, little buddy?
They have kind of a soft voice. They were just saying thanks. How was...
Dondax, come hold this steady for me, will you?
Dondax, wait.
I'll take just a second. You can do this. One sec.
No, please don't leave.
What's she making now? Oh, maybe that really cool rock thingy from that old ninja movie. What was it again? Mantis something.
Was it Orchid Mantis in the Silver Knight?
Oh yeah, that's classic. You've seen it, right?
Everyone's seen it. I've watched it forever. We can watch it tonight. That cool with you, Alatris?
I can't.
Was that fun?
You okay, Alatris?
I could go grab Ramasu. She might have some ginger.
I have to go.
In Social Moth, we have a total of 11 artists, with over half of them being from Oda's College of Art and Design. Some examples of how it went is that we had an artist, James, to do a lot of scene paint overs. Yin would take that scene to create really awesome environmental assets like the tall flowers or other nature assets like the mushroom and rocks. For characters, it was mostly Alan and me, where Alan would take a lot of my older character exploration sketches like Aphora or Lampier and create really cool final designs and helps us with color exploration. Our animators, Leslie, Mikey, and Tim, were able to create awesome animations which help the characters feel a lot more alive. Honestly, there's so much everyone did, and I really wish I could fit everything. But with that, I really want to thank all the artists, especially those artists, for being such awesome, hardworking, and talented people. It was really fun working with everyone.
And with that, Social Moth's time at the USC Games Expo 2022 is drawing to a close. Thank you all so much for tuning in to learn a bit more about our game and the wonderful developers behind it. Social Moth is available to play for Windows users on the Steam store now. You can find the link at the USC Games Expo website or simply by searching for Social Moth on Steam. We'll show you a look at our trailer on the way out before we throw it back to Jeff, and I want to thank you all for your time and wish you a wonderful rest of your day.
That was Social Moth, and what I love about that game is it's got a deeper meaning, but also a really beautiful 2D art style. And what I think you'll see today are games in many different styles of art. We'll see some 3D games, some 2D games, some really stylized art games, and I love the work that's coming out of USC. I mean, that looks like a truly professional game, and that's what's really amazing is what these teams have put together. These are not small little projects. These are ambitious games that you can download and play and check out, and I love the depth of the narrative behind that game as well. Looks good, plays good, but also has a deeper meaning. So that is Social Moth, a really impressive game. So congratulations to the team behind that one. All right, let's move on to our second game now, and that game is called simply Reversal. Reversal is a 2D puzzle game where you play as a little robot in a mysterious hierarchical tower. Over the course of the game, the player will use the gravity reversal ability, so that's the gameplay mechanic or hook, as well as other reversal related abilities obtained along the way to solve puzzles and climb to the top floor of the tower. So you're kind of scaling the tower as you go up, but you've got this interesting reversal power, which is really kind of the unique game mechanic. So to learn more about that mechanic and the game and the team, let's hear about Reversal.
Hey everyone, I'm Yang Cao, and I'm the co-creator of Reversal, a 2D puzzle game about social inequality. Reversal is set in a mysterious hierarchical tower where you will play as a little robot called Rab. Over the course of the game, you will use 3 powers obtained along the way to solve puzzles, experience different living conditions of other robots, and eventually climb to the top of the tower to decide its fate. Our team is composed of 4 people in total. There's me, the co-creator and the programmer, Z, the other co-creator and the artist, Joseph, who is in charge of composing all the beautiful music, and last but not least, Chaoran, who fills our game with rich diegetic environmental sounds. Reversal is heavily inspired by historical events and the current social situation. And since Z and I really love puzzle games, we wanted to explore such serious topics through highly interactive puzzles so that the players can think for themselves and draw their own conclusion. And since we also really love storytelling without using any words or dialogues, we aim to tell the story purely through animation, immersive world building, and even puzzles and game mechanics. So yeah, enough talking. Let's take a look at the gameplay. So we hope you enjoyed the gameplay. However, due to the time limit, we can only show you the very first floor of the tower and the first power, which is the flipping of gravity. In fact, there are 2 more powers and 2 more floors for you to explore. So if you're interested in our game, feel free to check out our Twitter account shown here. And yeah, my name is Yang Cao. Thank you for watching. Bye.
That was Reversal, and I gotta say, I love the mood of that game, right? The art style, reminds you a little bit of Darkest Dungeon, got this really cool art style, and the music and the mood. So this is not a happy-go-lucky robot. It's got a little bit of a darker tone to it, but really amazing puzzle mechanics. You probably get a sense from that trailer of how fun it is to kind of navigate through all these different sort of side-scrolling rooms as you climb the tower. So really beautiful game with great gameplay, but a very distinct art style, right? It's got its own voice and tone, which is really awesome to see. So congratulations to the team. Amazing work on Reversal. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hey, I'm Cody Bellinger of the LA Dodgers. I want to congratulate the students at USC Gaming on another great year.
Jam City is all about bringing together the best and most creative people with the best technology in the world to create deep, rich entertainment experiences.
With huge investments in NFTs and augmented reality, Jam City is very well positioned for the future of mobile.
And we played Fred and George Weasley in the Harry Potter films.
Thanks to our partners at Cookie Jam.
What I love about Jam City is it's a perfect balance between creativity and technology, and it's currently just in its infancy.
People feel like they're not just visiting a game, but they can buy or sell. The work you've put in is worth something.
Team Ludia, Team Jam City is about putting the player first.
What's good about Jam City is that family and inclusive culture and really value creativity and passion.
Just kind of try to think from the player's perspective of like what the experience is going to be for them.
Basically try to find ways to make the game fun for everybody.
I don't think I always should be the one to give advice, but I'd probably say focus on content and unique experiences over flash, because even the best, hugest games out there, they are, the big blockbuster games, they have a lot of substance underneath all the pretty graphics. So I'd say stick to substance.
Next up is something completely different called Dreamland Confectionary. This is one of those games that you would only probably get out of a program like USC Games. It is a comforting 3D story-driven exploration adventure. You befriend and borrow magical abilities from cute creatures to solve environmental puzzles, explore the unknown, and uncover the mystery of Dreamland. You discover new spirits and ingredients by exploring the world and bake them into vibrant desserts, hence the confectionery. So yes, this is a cooking game, but done in a really cool 3D style. I think when you see the trailer, you'll be amazed at sort of the ambition and the scale of this world. It's really just so delightful and beautiful, and you've got these spirit buddies. They've got magical abilities, and there are lots of characters you can talk through throughout the world. This is a really cool game, and one thing I'll note about this game is that it has over 10,000 wish lists on Steam. It was on the Steam Next Fest recently. That's a great demo event on Steam where you get to play and download a lot of upcoming games. It's also been featured in the Wholesome Games Fest. So this game is not only a student project, it's gotten a little bit wider acclaim from the public, which is what's so cool these days with digital distribution. Sometimes, folks can come out of USC Game School and launch a game and actually put it out commercially on Steam. So anyways, to learn more about this incredible project, please meet the team behind Dreamland Confectionary.
Hi, my name is Ayang and I'm the creative director of Dreamland Confectionary. Dreamland Confectionary is a atmospheric, story-driven 3D exploration adventure game where you play as a young adult named Ami as she relives her childhood dream world. Bond with magical animal inhabitants called spirits, each with their own unique special ability which you can borrow, such as the Sea Bunny Leap, the Growth Spurt, and Secret Sight. You can use those to explore, solve puzzles, and dive deeper into the mysterious but wonderful story of Dreamland. As the name of the game suggests, one of your main modes of bonding with the spirits is to bake delicious desserts for them through the countless ingredients that you find in the world as you explore. The deeper your bond, the stronger both of your abilities become. We've made some quite significant mechanical, narrative, and visual updates since you saw this game in last year's Expo, so the team and I are very excited to share those with you today.
I'm Weston, producer, marketer, and writer for Dreamland Confectionary. Dreamland is very special to me because it delivers a unique story with mechanics that I've never quite seen before. All the pieces of the game, art, audio, design, engineering, etc., all culminate into something quite extraordinary. The world of Dreamland is vast and amazing. There's a lot of environmental storytelling that goes on, and it's just really exciting and gives it a really rich background to the characters and the narrative.
Hello, I'm Sujung, and I'm the narrative lead of Dreamland Confectionary. The game introduces Ami celebrating her birthday in Dreamland with her friends and spirits. A major theme we explored was growing up without losing one's childlike wonder and imagination, which is reflected through Ami harnessing spirit abilities to find ingredients and access different areas.
I'm Max Soen. I'm the art production lead in Dreamland Confectionary. I'm most excited about all the small pieces of details, like old frames and images, and the pieces of memories that you can see around the scene that give you insight about the story and the lore of the game.
My name is Jacob Ruttenberg, and I'm the audio lead on Dreamland Confectionary. Dreamland is a magical and enchanting place that Ami gets to explore, and it was essential that the audio support this player experience. Now, spirits that Ami encounters in Dreamland were designed with some organic and natural animal sounds, but were also layered with a variety of other elements.
Hi there, my name is Billy Wong. I am the lead engineer here at Dreamland Confectionary. The engineering team worked very hard to deliver a exclusive glitchless open world experience. And we make sure, 100%, that you can pet that damn sea bunny. Oh, if you don't know what I mean by the sea bunny, play our demo. It's freely available on Steam.
And without a further ado, let's jump right into our demo. I hope you enjoyed watching a glimpse of our demo, which is available now on Steam. There's a direct link to our Steam demo on our website, dreamlandconfectionary.com. We're so excited for you to all experience and play Dreamland for yourself.
Again, as I said, a very unique, cool game done in 3D style Dreamland Confectionary. Didn't think you'd ever see a game that combines baking and action adventuring, but there you go. A really interesting game, and let's hope that's going to be something that the team will continue to build on once they finish it here at USC and get that out on Steam to all those people that have wishlisted it already. So a very fun concept, and a lot of what it takes today in the gaming industry to break through is a fun, different concept, right? There's so many games. Steam Next Fest usually has over 1,000 different games from around the world. So to break through, to get over 10,000 people to wishlist it means they're certainly doing something right, and it's a really fun premise. So congratulations to the team on Dreamland Confectionary. All right, next up is a game called Bounty Heart. Now, Bounty Heart is a strategic mobile RPG which combines matches with tactical turn-based combat where you play as a squad of bounty hunters hunting for a legendary bounty. This is a mobile game, which is really cool and important. Mobile is such a massive part of the gaming industry today. It's the biggest part of the gaming industry globally, and it's great to see students already thinking about making mobile games because there's a huge addressable audience there. And this looks like a really cool game. This game draws inspiration from the Match 3 gameplay of Puzzles and Dragons and the tactical combat of Fire Emblem Heroes, which is an amazing franchise on Nintendo, with procedural events that give it a roguelite flair. So a lot of depth to this as well. That's the thing, is even though things are mobile games now, they're not sort of small or half-baked ideas. Mobile games can be some of the richest, most beautiful, addictive games out there. You get to assemble a party of bounty hunters and move them on a board to make matches. You've got unique abilities and items to battle, to use in battle to claim victory. So I've said a bit about it, but let's turn it over now to the team behind Bounty Heart to tell us more about this really ambitious and cool mobile title.
Hi everyone, my name is Larry Wu and I'm the director of Bounty Heart. Bounty Heart is a roguelite RPG that combines Match 3 with tactical turn-based combat designed for mobile.
In Bounty Heart, each run you must assemble a ragtag team of bounty hunters to hunt for the legendary bounty. Make huge matches, upgrade your crew with unique items, and recruit quirky characters along the way. If you're a fan of roguelites, tactical RPGs, or Match 3s, or any combination of those, then this is the game for you.
Hi everyone, I'm Michelle Rand, the lead producer on Bounty Heart. Now on Bounty Heart, all of your actions are done by matching orbs. To make a match, first select one of your character orbs. Once selected, drag your character across tiles to make matches of 3 or more orbs in a row. The effectiveness of a match is based on the character's stats, so this match of attack orbs will deal 60 damage since our attack stat is 20 and we matched 3 orbs. Double tap to confirm the move. Great! Now let's make one more match to finish off the enemy. If you lower the enemy's health to 0, you will defeat them, allowing you to take their bounty of golden items, which you can use to upgrade your characters.
Hi, my name's Carter Block, and I'm the lead designer for Bounty Heart.
You can also befriend the enemies you come across by matching the blue Charisma Orbs. Charisma Orbs lower the enemy's hostility based off of that character's Charisma stat. Lowering an enemy's hostility bar to 0 allows you to recruit them. After you've recruited them, let's add them to our party. There are over 20 characters for you to discover and recruit, each with their own stats and abilities.
Each character in Bounty Heart has a unique ability with a mana cost. In order to gain mana to activate that character's ability, you must match mana orbs with that character. Now let's match some mana orbs with Tusk Boy so we can activate his ability. After Tusk Boy has gained enough mana, we can activate his ability, which converts all mana orbs on the board into Charisma Orbs. After Tusk Boy has used his ability, there are a lot more Charisma Orbs for us to match, which makes it easier for us to recruit Meiji, the Mushroom. Abilities also synergize with one another and can be combined together for greater effect. For example, by using Meiji's ability, which causes more mana orbs to generate, we can create more mana orbs to convert with Tusk Boy's ability. We can then also use Happy Go Ducky's buff ability to make our large match deal even more damage.
Each enemy you face will also fight back. Tiles highlighted in red are targeted by the enemy's attack. The cooldown indicator tells you how many turns until the enemy will attack the tiles highlighted in red. The power indicator tells you how much damage the enemy's attack will deal. When the enemy's attack cooldown is 1, then the tiles will flash and turn solid red. When your allies stay on the flashing red tiles, they will take damage from the enemy's attack. When your allies take damage, you can heal them by matching green healing orbs. Healing always prioritizes the lowest health ally first. There are several variations of enemy attacks, such as the directional attack, where only the first ally in a row will take damage, allowing allies to tank enemy attacks for each other, or the tracking attack, where the enemy's attack will follow one character and is unavoidable.
Hello, my name is Adrian Lopez, and I'm one of the engineers who worked on Bounty Heart.
You may have noticed that matching more than 3 orbs grants a multiplier to the orb's damage. You can see the multiplier at the top of the screen here. The larger your match is, the higher the multiplier becomes, so try to make the largest match you can.
Welcome to the map of Bounty Heart, where there are dangerous criminals at every corner. Each encounter on the map is randomized, so every run will be different. To decide where to go on the map, take a look at that encounter's wanted poster. The wanted poster will tell you the differing rewards between defeating the enemy and recruiting the enemy, as well as the enemy's stats. Defeating the enemy will give you more gold in an item, while befriending the enemy allows you to recruit them and add to your party. You can also see the details of the character within the encounter by clicking on their portrait, so you can decide whether you want to recruit this character or not.
My name is Christopher Ting, and I am the lead engineer on Bounty Heart. Items are the main way for you to upgrade your characters in Bounty Heart. You can get items by defeating the enemy or by purchasing them from a shop. Upon defeating an enemy, you'll be offered 3 different item choices for you to choose from, so you must adapt and strategize based on what you are offered. There will be over 50 items for you to discover in Bounty Heart, each with their unique effects and conditions. Each character has 3 different item slots, allowing you to mix and match for crazy and unique builds, whether it's getting large bonuses from making specific shapes with your matches, getting crazy amounts of movement, or damaging yourself for buffs. Items will make each run in Bounty Heart feel unique.
Mobile games live and die by their first impressions, so for Bounty Heart, our tutorial had to be good, and this was a priority from very early on. However, making the tutorial was quite the challenge. A big part of this is that the tutorial had a hand in just about everything. From dialogue, maps, abilities, inventory, almost every system in the game touches the tutorial at some point, and we would continue to throw new systems at the tutorial as they came up. So we had to make a robust tutorial system that could handle all of that, otherwise it would turn into spaghetti quick. And I think we managed to do just that. To do it, we used 3 main tools. First was the event system, which let each system cleanly communicate with the tutorial without breaking when the tutorial isn't active. Second was scriptable objects, which allowed for easy codeless editing of the tutorial, and many of our tutorials were made by designers without ever needing to touch the code. And lastly, and most importantly, was getting Bounty Heart on mobile platforms for testing as soon as possible. It was important to test how the tutorial felt on real devices in real playtests, and this helped us find where players were getting stuck and confused. And once we could pinpoint where the issues were, we could iterate quickly to fix them. So with this, we ended up making a solid tutorial system that fit our game very well, and I hope it enhances your first experiences playing Bounty Heart.
Hi, my name is Tom Ling, and I work as a narrative designer and a game designer on Bounty Heart. I remember looking at the initial vertical slice that was put together for the pitch of AGP, and I was really excited to start working on it. And for it to finally, well, come into fruition as this finalized, really pretty, and just fun to play game is something that's really inspiring to me, knowing that I participated in part of that. I was part of this bigger team, and everyone really sees those elements kind of coming together.
Hello, my name is Trinity Zhang, and I am a concept artist and illustrator on Bounty Heart. As part of the art team, I was responsible for creating a colorful and unique cast of characters ranging from silly frogs, serious samurais, or intimidating final bosses from the heavens. I also designed items that you can equip so that your team can take on even tougher outlaws.
Hey there, my name is Dorian, and I'm the lead artist and UI artist for Bounty Heart. With the help of our amazingly talented artists, we were able to create a world that is full of colorful and quirky characters, many of which were inspired by our favorite anime such as One Piece or Samurai Champloo. The same goes for our UI style, where we try to balance creating a fun and rewarding UI while still keeping it clean and legible like in other Match 3 games. Initially, we wanted to make a sharp and stylized UI like in Persona 5 or Alchemy Stars. But as we continued to develop our UI style, we began to incorporate our own personalities by adding brushstrokes and Asian motifs to fully culminate into the Western Asian fantasy style that you see today in our game.
Thank you so much for watching our presentation on our game Bounty Heart. Download now today on the App Store or Google Play Store, or by scanning the QR code on the screen. If this game interests you and you'd like to follow our development, feel free to check out our other social links in the QR code as well.
That's Bounty Heart, and as I said, really cool to see a mobile game in the mix here at USC Games Expo. Jam City, that sponsors the USC Games Expo, of course, is one of the biggest mobile publishers out there, and mobile gaming is a huge part of the industry, and the delta now between what you can create on a mobile game versus a computer or a console is getting smaller and smaller these days, with people using Unity and Unreal and all these other platforms on mobile. So really exciting to see what's possible, and I love that students now are creating mobile first experiences as part of student projects. That's something that it definitely is new that I haven't seen much before. So congratulations for the team for thinking about mobile as the first platform for a student game. Really, really great to see. All right, next up is another fun one. This one is Hedgehug. That's right. Hedgehug is the name of the game. And this game has a sort of a psychological aspect to it as well. It explores low self-esteem and social anxiety issues with interactive narrative puzzles and emotional gameplay moments. So we had a Moth that was dealing with social anxiety. Well, now we've got Hedgehug to deal with that. The story is told through the lens of a caring and sensitive hedgehog, Emma, a ceramic artist who struggles with loving and trusting herself in daily life. So, yeah, you know, the Moth is struggling, the hedgehog is struggling. We're all struggling. It's been a crazy couple of years with the pandemic, and I love that some of the themes of what's happening in real life are translating into games. And I always think the more that designers and developers put themselves into their games and make them emotional and personal, I think the more things resonate. When I was actually working on my television show a good 15 years ago, I came to USC with the first, I think one of the first classes at the USC Games Expo, when Kelly Santiago and Genova Chen were there, that went on to found that game company, the company that did Flower and Flow and Journey, and they were always thinking about you know, how to put emotion into games. I remember Genova's student project Cloud was all about a feeling and evoking emotion in a game. So I love that Hedgehug and the Moth game all kind of have this deeper meaning to them. So anyways, you do play as a hedgehog, as we said, and you connect with Emma in this game during her crisis and self-doubting moments. There's pottery involved, as we said, which is, again, something you would kind of unexpected and cool that this is part of a game. And you explore self-care options in the game for relieving stress and building up resilience. A really beautiful game. So much to this and so unexpected, right? Pottery, hedgehog, social anxiety. It's all part of Hedgehug. So let's check out now a little bit more on this game from the team.
Hi, my name is Claire Hu, a graduate student at USC. I'm the creative director of Hedgehug. Hedgehug is an interactive narrative-driven exploration on low self-esteem and social anxiety issues. It is a 2D, single-player adventure game where we follow the story of Emma, a sensitive and caring hedgehog, who is also a ceramic artist that struggles with loving and trusting herself. Over the course of the game, players will encounter emotional gameplay sequences and story-relevant interactive minigames to follow along on Emma's journey and experience her struggle and negative distortion in relatable daily life situations. players also spend time guiding Emma through self-care actions, mindfulness practices, talking to her sportive best friend Laura, while taking care of herself. As a project developed during the global pandemic, with heartbreaking news continuing to happen around the globe, I believe the message of this game is even more crucial and relevant to the challenging and ever-evolving situations that we all face together. Those scary and depressing moments that Emma and many of us face are not something that's easy to share, battle against, or heal from. It's incredibly hard to break out of that vicious cycle, especially when we're struggling with countless commitments and dreams in our lives. Taking care of ourselves is never a simple task. That's why I hope Hedgehug can serve as a gentle reminder for us all to breathe, take care of ourselves, stay true to our beliefs, be kind and patient, and enjoy. Thank you so much for watching.
That was Hedgehug, and I gotta say that probably takes the cake for the game that you would not expect to mash up a hedgehog pottery with a deep, meaningful story about social anxiety. What I love about that game is it's got so many different styles to it, and the pottery is just so unexpected, right? To have this 3D pottery that you're kind of making within this 2D adventure game context. So very interesting to hear from the team about how that all came about. A really inventive, cool project that I love has a deeper social meaning or message. And at the Game Awards, we actually have a category called Games for Impact that looks specifically at that, of games that are looking to have a pro-social kind of meaning or message to them. So great to see that, a really amazing student project as part of USC Games. All right, now let's move on to our final game of this part of the expo, the final student project that I'm going to be showing to you. And this one is called Ilum. Ilum is a 3D atmospheric puzzle adventure game where the player explores and solves puzzles by connecting light gems with a little light friend. This has a really beautiful artistic look, plays with light. In the game, the player will find light and bring light to a dark, sleeping kingdom. So light is what connects us all and brings us back together. You feel companionship and friendship through this journey, and the goal, as I mentioned before, is to awaken a dark, sleeping kingdom. So there are puzzles within this, but it's all kind of light-based gameplay. Really, really cool. So let's take a look now at this game.
Hello everyone, welcome to the USC Games Expo. My name is Elsa and I am the designer and programmer for Ilum. Ilum is a 3D atmospheric puzzle adventure game where the player explores and solves puzzles by connecting light gems with a little friend. In this game, the player will find light, bring light to a dark, sleeping kingdom, and feel the companionship and friendship with a little friend. Hope you like this game.
Hi, my name is Tianyue. Me and Elsa are both the creative directors and the developers of the game. It's been an honor to be selected into the Expo Spotlight show. So during the production, we had a wonderful collaboration with students from Berklee College of Music. We have our audio producer, Raphael, who helped a lot in communicating the ideas between developers, sound designers, and composers. And our lead composer, Richard, and co-composer, Eduardo, who had given us beautiful, beautiful music. And of course, our sound effects artists, Alexander, who gave life to the little light dot in our game. So thank you all again, and thanks USC Expo for giving us the opportunity to show our game to everyone over here. I hope you will enjoy it.
Hello everyone, my name is Raphael and I'm the audio producer for Ilum.
My task in this project was to work with the developers alongside the audio team to lead the audio team with the best audio design results possible. Also, maintaining them with schedules, all the assets, and implementation was also part of my task.
Hey USC! My name's Alex Duwong, also known as Gooch. I worked on the video game called Ilum as a sound designer as part of the Berkeley x USC collaboration process. And I just wanted to say thank you to each and every single one of you who made this collaboration possible. I know that each and every single one of you work super hard in order to make wonderful pieces of art. And I'm just super glad to have been included in the process. So thank you very much. And I wish all of you a happy, wonderful future making the wonderful video games that I know all of you are capable of making. Thank you so much.
Our game is about connection. In this game, players don't just go to a place to complete the connection automatically. They will explore the environment, find the light gems that are hidden in the world, attract and carry them to the correct location, and complete the connection with your little light friend together. The player, the light friend, and the gems are all important in the connection. Another really interesting part of our game is the little light friend. Players meet the light friend in the beginning sequence of the game, and they will go on the adventure together. The light friend will guide the players in this dark place and be a part of the connection. Players can also interact with it by using the flashlight, and it's gonna make funny movements and dance when the player shine the flashlight on. The story of the world is hidden in the environment. Players will use the flashlight to light up the wall paintings, which tell the story of the world, what it used to be, and also provide hints to the puzzles. By learning the story in the wall paintings, players can see how the world changes because of their actions. We did a lot of iterations on the light friend. Our biggest issue has always been the friendship between the player and the light friend, because it's difficult to make a sphere feel cute and lively to the players without any facial expressions and conversations. We spent a lot of time iterating the movement to make it feel alive through the animation and vocal sound effect. And we're happy about how it turns out because the players start to feel emotionally connected with a friend.
It's always fun when I look back on all those early prototypes. During pre-production, we had a great time experimenting with all kinds of weird ideas. Essentially, all the inspiration comes from one picture, or one sequence from the movie Tangled. We really love the whole feeling of it, so we start brainstorming. We want some key elements. First, the dark and light contrast. Second, the feeling of connecting with others. We had the idea of asking players to explore a dark world, and by connecting or lighting up some tiny dots, eventually they will light up the whole world. We have done many early prototypes, including experimenting with the mechanic of making players feel connected. In order to achieve that, we've settled down the core gameplay mechanics very early. We also did some visual prototypes to see how exactly players are gonna feel about the dark and light contrast. And we spent some time figuring out how to let players feel lonely instead of scared in such a dark environment, because we are not gonna make a horror game. Later in the production, we spent a lot of time iterating on the little light friend. At the very beginning, we weren't even thinking of having a companion. But our amazing cohorts gave us this idea of having a friend, which we think is quite lovely. But at first, the little light friend is just emotionless. It's just a ball. But we didn't want to change that. We wanted to see how much we could express even without humanoid shapes or dialogues. So we gradually added particle effects, lively animations, and some cute behaviors. And last but not least, we had these great sound effects from our Berkeley collaborators. So everything turns out satisfying for us. Here's another iteration on the final cutscene, or ending of the game. You can see how lonely players are at first, but in the final version we added all those other light dots, because we still loved that moment in Tangled. And we wanted players to feel they've awakened this sleeping kingdom. We also really appreciate our Berkeley collaborators for creating beautiful music for the cutscenes, as they really took it to new heights. That's all the time we have. If you are ever interested, go to uscgamesexpo.com and download Ilum to see more. Thank you for your time for watching the video.
What a beautiful looking game. And I love games that use light in the gameplay because it just creates such an opportunity to play with light and shadow and depth. And when you see that game, you know, there's nothing better than a video game than when you find that, you know, flashlight or that torch or whatever, right, to light your way through a game. And games do such a great job playing with light. So it's a fun idea to bring that into this game and have some puzzles and other elements alongside it. So really cool game, Ilum. Another one that is a great USC Expo title. And those are the big 6 games that I got to kind of preview and highlight. It's such an honor for me to see how diverse and different they all are. I love that they're deeper social themes to a lot of the games. There's a mobile game. They're all different art styles. The diversity of what's being created is really inspiring to me. You know, we're not coming to this expo and seeing 6 real-time strategy games or 6 first-person shooters with Space Marines. These are all really deep, special projects, and I love the innovation and creativity, which is something we need more of in the gaming industry. So bravo to all the students for their incredible work on these projects. I hope that you'll get to download them and check them out if you're watching, and I hope the students will go on to build more games in the gaming industry. I can't wait to see where they go. So that's it for me. It's always a pleasure to be a part of this event, and I love what USC does for the gaming industry. And this is where, you know, the game designers of tomorrow are learning their craft from some of the best faculty and experts in the world. And speaking of one of the best out there, I'm now going to turn it back to my good friend Danny Bilson. Danny, over to you.
Thank you so much, Jeff, for joining us today and helping kick off our USC Games Expo 2022. And we'll be joining you, all of us will, next December, along with tens of millions of others at your fantastic Game Awards. I also want to invite everyone who's interested in our program to contact us at uscgamesexpo.com. That's future students, people who think they might want to transfer, as well as potential industry partners who want to support us and help the growth of our program and the growth of these students. Next up, Greg Miller and Janet Garcia are going to share with you some of our MFA thesis games, as well as some of our Advanced Games Project. Advanced Games Project, or AGP, is our largest scale production class with up to 25 or more students on a team, and they work for over a year on those projects. So without further ado, let's get to some more games. We've got hours and hours of content ahead of us. So again, let's welcome Janet Garcia and Greg Miller with some MFA thesis and AGP games.
Hi, I'm Matt Booty, head of Xbox Game Studios, and we are pleased to continue our long-term collaboration with the USC Games program. Video games are amazing to work on because they combine the subjective magic of entertainment with the complexity and innovation of technology. I believe that every game that ships has in it the fingerprint of everyone who worked on it. As you begin your journey as a game creator, trust that your voice and your vision will find a way to leave an imprint on a medium that brings joy, connection, and entertainment to billions of people around the world. Good luck and go make some great games.
What's up, everybody? I'm Greg Miller, and that's Janet Garcia, and you are still watching the 6th annual USC Games Expo. And we're about to do one of our favorite things of the year, which is go through some of the cool student games. Isn't that right, Janet Garcia?
Heck yeah, I'm really excited to be here. Always love seeing the ideas and innovations that come out of here. And like we might be playing like the next hidden gem, the next big thing to come out of the gaming space. So it's really cool to feel like, you know, we're here, we're on the ground floor, and we're getting an early look at some really amazing projects.
That's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. You could be watching the next Breath of the Wild. You never know. It's maybe not that big, maybe a bit smaller on the indie scene, but you're about to see some awesome stuff. Of course, remember that 60% of the students have an industry job day one after graduating this program. It's an amazing thing. They've been doing it for quite some time. This is the 6th annual Expo, and we're going to get into it right now, Janet. The first game up is That's Not How It Happened.
I like how this is a story game, but right away, the first thing we see, beat 'em up action.
Hey everyone, my name is Manny Menzel and I'm director of That's Not How It Happened, a zany beat-em-up dating sim point-and-click game that follows the contradicting stories of the Turner family, Rose, George, Alan, and Zoe, as they recount their adventures against the dastardly villain Verity, each with their own unique art style and game mechanics.
Thanks, Manny. Hi everyone, I'm Juan, the lead engineer. In That's Not How It Happened, we utilize Rashomon-style narrative, which means each character's unique perspective of the same situation is given to the spotlight. In our game, 3 characters give their own opinion of the events, and each comes with their own unique games, mechanics, and art style.
Hi, I'm Annie, the lead producer of That's Not How It Happened. When the game opens, we see Rose, the matriarch of the Turner family, arriving at the By the Way Inn. The art style is what we consider to be real life. There are no character biases here, only one very burnt aim. The gameplay involves clicking through and reading the shock and dismay of the family as they stand in the ruins of their business and home.
Hello, I'm Rachel Gay, the lead artist and art director. Diving into the first of our 3 perspectives, we start off with the strong and handsome Father George, with his old-school beat-em-up gameplay and visuals. With an art style inspired by old-school arcade games, this gameplay encompasses all of the major features of a classic brawler. In George's segment, he takes immediate action to take down the big bad Verity along with her goons.
Hello, I'm Reed, the narrative lead. The next act is from the point of view of Alan, the oldest child in the Turner family. From his point of view, the game is a dating simulation. Alan must use his hotness, kindness, and much more to win over the villain, Verity, and save the inn. The art style, developed by artists at Otis, showcases elegant hand-drawn scenes that add to the charm and romance.
I wonder which of these actually ends up being the truth. Like, do we find out? You know, how do they kind of maybe converge?
I'm Kelly, the marketing lead for That's Not How It Happened. Our last character is Zoe, the young daughter of the Turner family. Zoe's section features point-and-click mechanics that enable the player to search for clues within the colorful world she lives in. Zoe knows something fishy is happening behind the scenes, and it's up to her and Winston to crack the case. Now that you know the basics, without further ado, we'll show you an extended look at That's Not How It Happened.
I mean,
So I would die for Winston.
I was going to say, they've sold me on the Winston plush, Janet.
Exactly.
They all have
And I
their
was
own
like,
Winston
are we
plush.
going to
Where
talk
can I buy
about
mine?
Winston? Like, what's going on here? I like that that's kind of the kid's perspective. I also think it's so interesting that each character has a style that like represents like their persona and personality.
This was all your fault. Settle down, kids. Thankfully, I was here to save you. Save us? You almost got us killed.
This never would have happened if you would have listened to me for once.
What in the world happened here?
Rose, how was your day, honey?
Our inn is gone.
Yeah, but the kids are still alive, so, you know, glass half full.
How did this happen?
It was all because of that woman. Me and Winston tried to tell them. Right, Winston? That's not a nice thing to say.
I like that
about
Winston has
Dad,
dialogue.
Winston.
Yep.
What woman?
Let me tell you exactly what happened. Don't worry, I have a phonographic memory. Dad, that's not... So, there we were.
This is a brilliant idea, the changing art style.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. I'll make sure those orphans get those meals delivered.
Why do I feel like this is not how it happened?
Just doing my
Everybody has their own
duty.
lens, Janet.
Sneaking suspicion, right? It's true to them. It's a lie.
Yeah.
It's not a lie if you believe it. you know?
George Turner, I'm tired of you and your gorgeous golden hair. My name is Verity Jones, and this inn was once mine. Now, I'm here to take it back.
Looks
I
like
love how
you'll
hammed
be
up this is.
checking
Yeah, for
out
sure.
early.
They had fun writing
No
these
one
lines.
getting to the boss, no matter how handsome.
We figure it's what, 4 games in one, the truth and the 3 perspectives. That's pretty nice, and especially if you should be a student, be creative, and want to get all this stuff out. I'm really interested to see who Verity's going to end up being, though.
Right. Like, Verity's been dead for 10 years. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, what's gonna be
I
the
can't believe
story
she'd
here?
come here and burn the house down, or the inn down. So what happened?
I was always here for this. I'm gonna beat him up.
Of course.
You know, maybe none of them is how it is not
Well,
how
that's
it
the thing,
happened,
right?
or
That
how
one,
it
that
happened,
first
right?
art style is supposed to be the truth. They said that's the that's the.
That was amazing! It's almost like you don't even need the rest of us.
Nonsense. Your moral support is the heart of this operation. Well, not the heart. I'm the heart. And the brains. You're more like the liver.
What are you
The hair's very Dragon Ball Z here too.
Oh, yeah, well,
Like,
he's got that space.
Should have
He's got a
foreseen
special
my highly trained
move
goons
filled
would
in
be
there.
no
with the
match
press
for
space
you and
bar
your
at the top.
gorgeous hair. No matter. They bought me enough time to steal the deed.
Time to face justice, evildoer.
With you gone, my takeover of the inn will be complete.
God, the sound. I love a good slap sound. It's always the minions that'll get you in a boss battle.
Of
is the
course,
thing.
yeah. You gotta manage those ads. You know that.
And that's how I save the day. Well, except for the inn burning down.
That doesn't make any sense.
Anything makes sense if you don't think about it.
A woman named Verity.
And George is making some points,
he's just
honestly.
trying to save face. I had it all under control.
Did not.
One at a time. Alan, why don't you tell me what happened?
Very well. Here's how it went. Intelligent, attractive, talented, loved by all.
You aren't talking about yourself, are you?
Shut up, Zoe! But I'm stuck here, the by the way in. Not exactly every teenager's.
Man, even the way
I
they're
love how his
stretching the
voice
voice out.
changes.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's what I was saying too.
Stand on the floor again. Come see.
Zoe says it'll give me HP. Whatever that means.
And George looking good. Glow up.
How many times do I have to tell you to not eat floor
I
sandwiches?
like how it connects to the other like gameplay we just saw, like the floor sandwich part.
Yeah.
The secret ingredient is flour.
You should adopt a healthier lifestyle, Dad.
How did I not think of that before? Your charisma and intelligence have turned my life around.
Hey, it's what I do. Oh, a guest. And a pretty one, too. It must be my lucky day.
Are you?
Alan Turner. Yes.
Hotness personified.
Famed intelligence.
Unmatched charisma.
Kind to all.
Cue the romantic music.
Calm down, Verity. It's finally happening. Your dreams have come true.
Yes, I have that effect on women. Beautiful. Well-dressed. Gorgeous eyes. That's what she must think of me. Time to really
Oh my god,
impress
good
her.
twist.
Bad idea. This is for you.
I like the fake fourth option. Yes.
Wow.
Good pick.
The not made up thing you just gave me is so romantic. This is the nicest thing anyone has ever done for me.
I call it a Tuesday.
There is one thing only someone charismatic like you can help me with. I want the deed to the inn.
What do you want with the deed?
To steal it. I mean, not steal it.
Her logic checks out.
You should leave this to me, Dad. You're a great guy, but kind of a simpleton.
Oh, if I only weren't so stupid. Yeah, you're stupid.
My family used to run the place until an employee betrayed us and got us kicked out. With the deed, we can restore this place to its former glory. I mean, who's more trustworthy than the pretty woman you just met?
My features are also quite appealing. People like us should stick together. Follow me.
You truly are the ultimate man.
Jenna, I'm locked in. Who is this woman?
I'm so invested.
And coincidentally, the most romantic room in the inn.
Alan, you need
Also, I like
to
the
get
lighting
away
in the
from that
backdrop,
woman.
too.
She reeks of villainy.
What are you talking about?
She was sent by the mole people to add our inn to her evil mole empire. I should know. I'm a bratty know-it-all. Winston, back me up.
Move along, Zoe.
I've got my eyes on you, lady.
I find the deed and give it to her.
You're so generous. I've instantly fallen in love with you.
Nobody talks like that.
I've never met someone like you, Verity. You're almost as charming as me. We must be together.
This is the happiest day of my life.
Hey, it looks like she's trying to steal the deed. I'm gonna confront her with absolutely no proof or evidence whatsoever.
No, wait!
I'm sorry, son. I don't know any better!
Dad, the candles! Everything was knocked over. Thanks to Dad's
That's a lot of candles.
stupidity, the inn was
Well, it's always,
going
it's
up
always
in
George's
flames
fault.
along with my
He's the one
dreams.
doing this every time now.
We hope you love our game as much as we love making it. You can find out more about That's Not How It Happened on our website, tnhih.com. And if you check out our Twitter, @tnhih, you might be able to win your very own Winston
Yes.
plushie. Thanks, everyone. See you at the end.
I am going straight to Twitter right now.
I was
to look
thinking the
into
same
how
thing.
Not
Not to mention, too, like, I don't know if those are going to be mass produced like that.
I
Like,
know,
this
right?
is my only
Yeah,
way to get this plush.
We actually have to get on top of this, everybody. We'll get to your stream in a second. USC Game Expo. You've heard it all before. All right. Well, it's not. We're okay. I see what to do. Okay, we'll do this after the fact. I won't lie, Janet. I was hoping they'd play through the whole game.
Me too. Like I think that's, a good sign of like having a compelling idea, right? Because we got to that end and I'm like, oh, I really want to see that next perspective and just get the next piece of the puzzle, which, I imagine would be the same as we, booted up and started our own version of that. I'm also curious to see like how some of like the dialogue changes the flavor of it a bit. I was very invested.
Yeah, that's great. That's not how it happened. You just saw it right there. Of course, there is one arm there to go through still, the point and click adventure, which I will be doing it. Of course, go to twitter.com TNHIH to learn how to win your own Winston, and of course follow the game. What I appreciate for us, they gave us the rundown of the features of the game. The developers listed the 4 features. Janet, play through 3 quirky characters, different perspectives of the same event. Great. Unravel the mystery on how the inn burned down. Of course, zany characters, and then the 4th feature, sandwich. So
yep, the most important feature of all. I like that plays into as well, like with the last dialogue we saw, the 4th feature always being something kind of like quirky and weird and like punchy. Fits well.
Well, Janet, the bar is high, but our next game is The Darkest Plague. The Darkest Plague is a surreal action-adventure game in a steampunk world. Play through the eyes of a plague doctor who tries to save people, but ends up falling into madness. Sounds like a tonal shift.
Well, hello there. My name is Sebastián Baracaldo, and I'm the game director of The Darkest Plague, a steampunk action-adventure game with the themes of surrealism and madness. So how about we just take a look at the trailer?
That's a good opening.
When the plague hit, I was tasked to gather information alongside our military.
I took it as an opportunity to further my medical knowledge. The soldiers did not share the same sentiments. I swore an oath to protect the well-being of our city. I knew they needed more than just my word. Even if I needed to go against orders.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
I like the moody storyboard and then the switch to the actual art style.
I didn't see that coming.
Seems like the whole military's happening.
I tell you what, Janet, you give me a good scythe, we're gonna have a good time.
I'm just here for like the floating objects. Like anything that gets a little bit surreal, I'm into it.
I've never seen anything like this before. Is this real?
So, what are your thoughts on the trailer? We really wanted to focus on 3 key aspects. One of them being the combat, of course, but we also wanted to explore the themes of surrealism and madness. And so we're gonna see how we did that with the Doctor.
A challenge we faced when creating the Doctor was keeping them morally gray as protagonists, but keeping them compelling at the same time. And seeing in the intro, there's a lot of character reveal. And when the Doctor is exposed to this gas, reality starts to shift. And we had to figure out a way to keep the Doctor thinking that they're still the good person doing the right thing, even when they're going out and slaying these diseased soldiers and civilians, thinking they're creatures trying to save Metropolis. And we ask ourselves, how much of the character's changes from the gas and how much has come from within?
As for our main character, I wanted to synergize the steampunk and Plague Doctor aesthetic together. So I had the classic beaked mask and hood, and then also like the shoulder pads and then the leather straps, which are classic of a Plague Doctor. But I also kind of interweave the industrial copper and brass plating and tubing that is like kind of associated with steampunk stuff. And I also just wanted to make it seem a little bit more gritty since that's like the nature of our character.
Modeling the Doctor was a really fun experience. I think one of the most fun times I had was just doing the research, gathering references, and really trying to capture the look that the Darkest Plague was going for the character. And while working on the model, I would say the biggest challenge were just trying to get the proportions right to match the tone of the overall game, going from more cartoony, which was how I started, to more realistic.
I know you want to see it in action, so let's take a look at this gameplay demo.
Also a good transition.
Yeah, 100%. And I love the vignette style, like talking to everybody specifically about what they did and how they did it.
The soldiers did not share the same sentiments. I swore an oath to protect the well-being of our city. I knew they needed more than just my word. Even if I needed to go against orders. I'm not one to look for trouble. But on this day, trouble found me.
As it does.
Need backup now!
I love the idea this Doctor is hopped up on Plague PCP, just taking down the military.
It's like, I'm doing great. I like the fact that it's playing with reality. Like, I
100%.
appreciate anything where I'm not quite sure what's real and what's not.
Yeah, 100%.
I found them on my location now.
I'm not
the
the one
moodiness of
you
the scene
want.
too.
There's a...
Getting that Souls-like combat in here, Janet. The dodge rolls.
The classic roll. You're right. You're not wrong.
Get a parry going. We're gonna have a
The
good
stamina
time.
management. Let me just stand by this car really quick and see if I can get it back together.
Let me crash. Get a breath. I'll be interested to see how many people they surround you with, or if it's always one-on-one.
I'm here to help Metropolis.
The targeting's nice, just to not have to like worry as much about the camera or to have the option to like change.
sure.
I mean, it's not like completely clear if that's what's going on here, but I like that it has that reticle
It
on the
seems so.
enemy.
Yeah, I would think that seems like it's locked.
I like how they drop too. They sort of just kind of like fold and collapse in on themselves.
Are they even real, Janet?
Right? Like, wouldn't that be what? Like, he just cut in. It's just someone walking down an empty street.
He's just in that room seizing. He's just on the ground.
like the shadowy design too. It kind of gives like that nightmare feel to it.
For sure.
You already know I'm eyeing that stamina bar. I'm
I know,
as soon as it
right,
depletes,
right,
I'm
right.
like, we've been there.
Oof.
I like that.
To find a
Finish
way
it.
out of the city. Quick.
I do really enjoy when people have some fun with the animation and combat and kind of like randomly put in a different kind of finishing look. It kind of makes it a little bit grander. See, now there's a shield involved. This is where it gets too difficult for me to be.
Well, I noticed on
innocent.
that last enemy,
cut
that
you
enemy
down
parried
if I have
the
to.
actual protagonist, the doctor. I thought that was interesting.
Hmm.
Oh, here you go.
Damn. That was the quickest way out. I'll need to find a different route.
I like how like the dreariness makes the lighting shine. Like I'm a big fan of like the hotel written in neon. I think it also helps cue the player on where to go to, like those pockets of light.
Where we found the first case.
And that's such a
Should be careful.
piece of game development and signposting that no one talks about, right? But it's one of those things, when it's perfect, you don't even notice it, and when it's terrible, you are so frustrated in a game.
Yeah.
The plague gas is much thicker here.
Again, yeah, you're talking about like a mood, right? And the way they're setting the scene here. You already mentioned the bloom of it, but even now making the gas thicker and having it be this wobbly vision.
I wonder too if this is why, if that's tied to like the enemies being larger. You know, if we'll have sort of these different areas that will have almost like little biome pockets that'll have like
Sure,
different characteristics based on what's going on with the level of like hallucination or like blurring of realities. I do like that it also, you know, notes slow stamina and big text because it's one of those things where you'll notice the slowdown, but it's nice to have it like in your face.
Well, yeah, the amount of times I've played a game right and I go to the well to do a move and find out I'm out of stamina. It's,
Much worse than who thought. Who are you?
Here's more floating objects for you, Janet.
Heck yeah. I like that you can kind of move through some of them, like bumping into that ladder and just having it kind of fly away.
Yeah, like zero G.
It also makes it feel a little bit more real, right? Because it's like colliding with it, not being able to move into it. You end up kind of mazing your way through it otherwise.
Which again, I think is super impressive for a student game. Like I would expect those not to move or not have physics attached to them.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things too where like you can kind of be strategic about it. Like you don't need it at the one that's feet above your head, but the ones that you might collide into, you know, I wonder how much like testing went into that of figuring out where to pick your spots. The fog, you're talking about soul stuff.
This is some straight
Yeah,
Elden
you're
Ring
hitting
right
that,
now. You're
yeah.
about to have a boss fight.
When you put your hand up to that fog, it is on.
Oh,
yeah, that's a good little tease to lead it into.
it was a good tease. That really had me. I was like, oh.
I'm like, what's behind the fog?
Good job, Sebastian. And everybody.
I like the credits too. Look, we beat the game, so good job, Greg. Smoke builder.
I was the smoke builder, no big deal.
Smoke builder number 7.
World building is really important for the Darkest Plague. We want this big contrast between a normal city and a dreamlike surreal.
That was so scary, and they're like
It
very
is so
cheery.
we
Like,
really
hey,
worked hard into the visuals, the sound design, music, level design, narrative, and many more. So let's hear what the team has to say about that.
So in designing the transition from realism into surrealism, we approached it with cutscenes and comparisons inside the level. In the beginning, the character sees this normal steampunk street as he progresses to the courtyard, and this courtyard functions as a transitioning point. And when he returns from the courtyard,
all the objects on the street floats up and becomes interactable to represent the change to surrealism. And to make the transition more apparent, we also added a change in the music and post-processing effects.
Okay, so when the guys told me about the concept of the game, they explained to me the idea they wanted to develop throughout of it, both with the looming danger inside and outside of the mind of the character, and I really tried to portray that feeling of helplessness, using like very very dark Locrian mode progression and a lot of ambience and whatnot.
There was a stress to it, you know?
Oh my god, totally.
The goal was to
Like a
use sound
heaviness.
to showcase the character's mind as you progress through the journey and kind of get into what he's thinking. I don't want to spoil too much, but as you progress through the game, you'll notice these subtle differences in sound and other characters' voices that make the game more interesting. I would definitely recommend playing it with headphones.
When designing the combat system for the Darkest Plague, one of the main challenges was keeping balance. Every tiny little detail we changed would alter how the player would dance with the enemies.
Going forward, we really want to blur the lines of reality, and as the demo ends, we're standing in front of these large foggy doors, and as we go through them, we're going to get one step closer to finding out the origins of this plague gas, but we're also going to get deeper and deeper into this surreal world and really question what's real and what's not as we continue our journey.
Show it to us!
And hopefully save Metropolis once and for all.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed the Darkest Plague. Please stay tuned for more awesome games.
Damn. Another one, Janet. Just leaving us hanging.
Yeah, they're doing a good job with the teases.
They are, yeah. I guess this may encourages you to go find out, ladies and gentlemen, more about The Darkest Plague. Of course, coming to PC. Noted it played best with controllers, so be ready for that. For features, they wrote down action combat using a scythe. Hell yeah. Steampunk aesthetics, surreal environments, and an unfolding narrative through the gameplay. We saw just a taste of that, but I am interested to know, how much crazier can it get? They're talking about
we're
going
always
through
here for that narrative.
Of course, you know that. You know we're here for the narrative. That's what we do, Janet, you and me. I'm kind of funny. You know that. But yeah, excited to see where that one goes. But Janet, speaking of narrative, I think this next one might be up our alley, all right? It's called Skin Deep. The overview is this. You play as Kira, a young Irish-Korean girl growing up in suburban America with 2 loving parents, lots of Legos, and a loyal cat companion. As she journeys through the pains of adolescence with flirting, bullying, snacks, friends, and loss, the game tries to reckon with Kira's past in order to move on to her future. I can already tell you I'm in. Sign me up.
I was sold at the Lego. I was more sold at the cat. Like, I'm ready to go.
Let's go. Let's see what Skin Deep's all about.
I like the layout for the panels.
Yeah. I'm like 4,000% in.
Hi, my name is Abby Sherlock, and I'm a graduate student here at USC and the director of Skin Deep. Before we get started with showing off the game any further, I want to give a content advisory for topics and displays of eating disorders and disordered eating. If you think this sort of thing might be triggering, take a break from the stream and come back in around 10 minutes. This project was advised by the UC San Diego Eating Disorder Clinic, and they were kind enough to give us a wealth of resources and externally vetted organizations that will be posted in chat that you can check out if you are so inclined. We'll miss you, but we want you to be safe, and please take care of yourself. Skin Deep is an interactive 2D graphic novel dealing with body image, loss, and cats. This past year, I got to work with a team of 16 game developers, spanning programmers, artists, composers, and producers to bring this comic to life. Within the space of 2000s Americana, Kira, our game's protagonist, grows up with loving friends, a dad who makes a lot of dad jokes, and a dog-like cat companion. We follow her from school home, and even from within her own internal psyche, as we journey through the highs and lows of that awkward time from childhood, tween, to teen, and then adult, through the eyes of her loyal cat. Skin Deep was inspired by Studio Ghibli heroines, Pixar short films, and our team's overall mission of creating a project that speaks to topics unspoken in our society and communities, especially within games. Skin Deep is available on PC and Mac and on your own internet browser, and we invite you to play at home after today's stream. Follow along on our Twitter to see our website and check out our fully orchestrated album live, now on Spotify and other music streaming platforms, to keep up with project updates. If one person in the audience
That's really cool.
has a new
I was gonna say this is a full pronged attack. This is what you're getting at USC.
then we as a team have done our job. Have a wonderful rest of your USC Games Expo, and as always, fight on.
I've already followed Abby.
That was a really good intro.
That was awesome. I followed Abby. I'm following the game.
Yeah, I appreciate the content warning too and the resources. Like you can really tell that a lot of thought went into handling this topic, and I'm always pro like having any level of that on any media. I think is
Well, it's what we always
important.
talk about with games, right? Is that they need to tackle serious subject matter. It can't all just be light, or otherwise the art won't be taken seriously. So to do it and then do it the right way, it's perfect.
I also like the idea of this being like a comic translated into like a game medium.
Yeah,
because
interactive graphic novel. Yeah.
Exactly, because you can kind of, it's so cool how you can do things in games that you just can't do anywhere else. Like there's always that conversation, I think, around narrative games of, well, why couldn't this be like in this other medium? But there's these little touches that add layering that you just can't get anywhere else.
For sure. And have the score up on Spotify. Awesome.
Yeah.
Getting big Florence vibes, and I'm all about that.
I thought of that game too, as well, just because of like the paneling and the puzzle pieces and the sliding kind of mechanic.
Yeah.
I like the idea of at least part of the story being seen through the cat's eyes.
Yeah.
Or there's always kind of that question of like, what perspective am I really looking through? And I think that's interesting. I think something that's nice too about games that kind of take a big scope of time is that there's these really like vivid, intense moments, but also like random slice of life stuff, because that's how memory works. You know, when I think back
100%.
on my childhood, I think of like, these really big deal things, and also like for some reason a really vivid memory from like that one day at the park.
Yeah, to see these intertwined, right? To see a negative memory mixed with a positive memory mixed with life-changing memory here. God damn.
I don't mind, but I hope it's not because you're still mad about not having a tail. Get it through your big brain! I don't want a tail! There we go.
I have the on-screen tip as well.
Yeah. The art's so well done.
I'm also showing everyone my cat all the time, so I find this really cool. Even though I'm
Right up
28
your
and
alley.
not a child as this kid is.
The cat knows.
No,
the cat knows.
Oh, the sad meows. Good treadmill sound too. That really is what it sounds like. I grew up having like a treadmill in our basement, and like that whirring is really hard to capture. I like how the art's kind of changing a little bit too, as like this is kind of a little bit of a different look within the same style. It's very vibrant.
That's a great move.
I like the skip options.
Yeah.
They do a good job with lighting and capturing mood. Like this kind of this scene reminds me of the post-funeral one of like eating like a meal in the kitchen with all like the other lights in the house turned off.
For sure. I swear to God, if they kill this cat by the end of this game.
Oh, as they bring it back to where we were before.
Yeah. What a great message.
About the cat's involvement.
It needs more cat.
I like the progression not being linear either, where it's like, hey, it's just, an ongoing process.
Yeah, for sure. Great depiction of therapy too, and the help you can find there. That one got me. I got teared up.
Also going to Twitter for this.
I'm quote tweeting it right now.
And they upload this soundtrack to everywhere. I like the live orchestra element of it too.
I mean, again,
and there's the cat.
It's what you get out of a program like this, right? And I mean, I know it sounds like, I guess I was going to say it sounds like an ad. You're watching the USC Games Expo. So clearly, like, we're pretty big on USC Games Expo. But again, that's like what making a game in 2022 is, right? Is being everywhere. It's not bringing people to you, it's you going to them. And I think, yeah, obviously the orchestra being on Spotify, but even the tweet they have up for going live in April, right? It's on Mac, it's on PC, it's on browser. Here's the website. Like, they had a Tumblr at the end of that. Like, you got to go where the audience is. And I think that is something so many independent developers miss, and something that's so great to see USC support and put into their curriculum and teach them how to actually get the game out to people, Janet.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, like I always talk about how my game of the year is always biased in that I did not play every game that came out this year because time is not limitless. But that's why it's so much more important to be able to get on people's radar and to kind of break through all that noise. Because it's awesome for us as players to have so many options out there, but for like developers really trying to get people to get their hands on their project, those are the things that make the difference. Because we're always looking for new stuff. So to have more ways for us to come across it, the more the better.
Yep. And that's part of what all these students are learning at USC. Remember, of course, this is the USC Games Expo. There have been a whole bunch of games you've seen today, but more importantly, this is the 6th annual Expo. And there's been a whole bunch of alumni you might know out there. There are currently 925, probably more than 925 USC Games alumni. The program's only been around for 5 years, and you can do a quick Google to see all sorts of alumni out there doing awesome things and making the games you probably already are playing and love, or having something involved with it. And again, this is your chance to get on the ground floor for something like Skin Deep, which again, you can go check out twitter.com/skindeepthesis if you want to know more and get copy of the game, because it is free. You can jump right in there and then obviously go find the Spotify soundtrack and everything else.
Hi USC, Nasia here from Jam City. We're so excited to be sponsoring the Expo again this year. First and foremost, congratulations. You've made it this far. Making games is difficult. It's never a straight path, and you've zigged, you've zagged, you've rolled with the punches, and you found yourself here. It deserves a round of applause, so congratulations. Some of the most talented, creative, and innovative game makers that I've ever worked with have come out of this very program. And so you're joining that legacy of excellence. I can't wait to work with some of you soon.
I think what I love about Jam City is it's a perfect balance between creativity and technology, and it's currently just in its infancy.
NFT-based play-to-earn games are the future of mobile gaming. People feel like they're not just visiting a game, but they can buy or sell. The work you've put in is worth something.
Our blockchain gaming division will lead and develop games in the ever-growing Web3 development community.
Hello, USC Games people. It's your friend, Judd Apatow. It's so awesome that you guys are getting to invent video games. I'm kind of a Galaga guy. I never really advanced past that. That's as good as I can do. I go back to the Pong days. That's how old I am. But it's great that you had this expo online of all your work. Congratulations. It's amazing that you can do that. I will be a consumer for all of your work here in my home where I guess I'm not allowed to leave. So I need you more than ever. It's awesome you're at USC learning all this stuff. They didn't have stuff like that when I went to USC. They didn't have a class teaching us how to create our own space invaders. Is it Spaced Invaders? Space Invaders? Spaced? Did I make a movie called Spaced Invaders? No, that was Pineapple Express. That's a good name for a stoner movie. Spaced Invaders. Anyway, take care. Be well. I'll be in the other room watching Tiger King again.
It's time to move on to our next entry. Today, we're going to look at Skyloft. This is described as a 3D exploration and crafting game where you climb through dangerous floating islands in search of your lost love, Amelia. Let's check it out.
Hello, my name is Charlie Anderson, and I am the director of Skyloft. Skyloft is a 3D exploration and crafting game where you climb through dangerous floating islands in search of your lost love, Amelia. You will brave wild sky beasts, craft gadgets, and uncover the secrets of this world. Today, my incredible team and I are going to show you what we've been working on for over the last year. Thank you so much for tuning in, and let's play that trailer.
I already said that, sorry.
My love, come with me to explore the spire. It's gonna be an absolute revelation. And who cares if the elders think it's too dangerous?
First person.
Our people are gonna be blown away with the
Like now it's scary. Nope.
now you're out.
Toggle to third.
It'll be the journey of a lifetime. It can't possibly go wrong, right?
I'm always here to craft.
Of course. Famous last words.
Yeah.
Ugh.
This is not a very friendly forest, it seems. Oh, this is interesting.
Clear the fog with the protective bubble.
Yeah.
Oh, Spider-Man.
I got a little bit of some
In
vine
Skyloft,
action.
you play as the adventurous inventor Laik, who'll be stepping foot into the untamed
This is the
endless
most
spire,
scary,
which has never before been
cute
seen
looking
by
thing I've
outside
seen.
eyes. The world here is the focus,
It's like
filled
explore
with
this
dangerous
world,
creatures
or
and secrets.
Or die.
And you have only your wits and the tools you can craft to keep yourself alive.
Hi, here is Yutong Liu, the game narrative lead for the Skyloft. When the new floating landmass of the spire suddenly appear near their home in the sky world, the reckless adventurers Laik, Amelia, and Handam can't wait to explore it, despite their elders forbidding them to. They set out on their journey, but after getting separated in a crash landing, they discover that there is more to the spire. Are they truly the first one to set foot in this strange place? What is the source of the mysterious glowing red light? And will they be able to discover the truth behind these mysteries before it's too late?
I'm Parwatch, and I'm the lead designer on Skyloft. The team have created an interactive world where you as a player are free to create your own solutions to problems. Use a grappling hook to ascend sheer cliffs, craft a stealth field to hide from deadly
I
creatures
like the notes
flying
kind of
overhead.
guiding you along the way.
Use a glider to descend safely from heights and let the wind carry you to the next stop of your perilous journey where being unprepared is met with harsh consequences. Our systemic open world, unique AI, and embedded crafting system allow you as a player to interact with, survive, and ascend the endless spire in any way you choose.
With our immersive
Oh,
world
no.
building, you'll find yourself in an awe-inspiring, visually stunning world of floating islands and fog. In order to give the player the feeling that the world itself is the antagonist, but also leave some curious to explore, the art team created a large broken spire of rocks where neither the bottom nor the top is visible.
We planted large forests and bioluminescent mushrooms for the player to discover. We also populated the spire with mystical creatures to catch them off their guard. A bird with a toothy maw under a fake beak. A blind beast with strange glowing ears. Beware, they might be right behind you. And what about that glowing red light in the distance? You'll have to brace the spire and climb to the top to find out.
Be ready to get lost in our sky world.
Skyloft has a lot of great design and cool art, but at the same time, we want to minimize unnecessary distraction or challenges. For example, in playtesting, we found that players treated our hostile flying beasts as friendly creatures, which contradicted to our original design. To fix this, we have to change their appearance to a dark gray with a threatening bright pattern. We also included a hint in the letters to indicate to players that our flying beasts are hostile.
Hello there, my name is Rocco Wu and I'm the lead producer for Skyloft, and we are super proud of our team of over 30 talented students for putting in hard work in the past year to deliver an experience that is breathtaking, immersive, and beautiful.
Yeah, I love that they go into
further
why
ado,
they made their
let's jump
decisions
back
and what
into
they
the
learned.
Hi there, my name's Bilal Awan and I'm the marketing lead for Skyloft, and I'm really excited to share with you the gameplay demo that we have for you for Skyloft today.
Hi, love. I know.
Again, how cool is it they have like the marketing lead? You know what I mean? Like it's literally everything about creating a game that you get USC.
Yeah, I think it also
Grab
shows
on
just
them
how
and
like
let's
different
all head out
teams
at
can be built
sundown.
out. Like they have
For
so
sure.
many
See you soon.
teams of different sizes with different roles and people taking on like different elements. Some voice acting.
I know, I didn't expect that either.
We picked up a vine there, that probably will come in useful later, so we'll just hold on to that for now. And then we can see that in our inventory.
Even though I saw that before, it still always
Still
gets
got
me.
you?
Looks like we've just discovered our first recipe, which is for the grappling hook. Looks like we need some more materials, so we'll just collect those, and then we'll be able to craft the grappling
walk through a
hook,
demo.
which
I think those
we'll
are
be
always
able to
kind of
use
useful
to
to see
scale
like
this cliff.
what are these first moments like.
For sure.
I like this game also invites you to see what you can do. Like it has that with like the floating aisles of, okay, how far can I go? Can I make this jump?
Looks like we've just found another recipe, so we'll collect this herb and then we'll see what that is.
Yeah, I like that. You know, obviously,
looks like it's for an
craft
aid
more.
pack,
You
which
get new
we can
recipes.
craft
You move
to
on.
heal
You can
ourselves,
get to
so we'll
different
get some more
areas, right? And so you always have
materials,
that as you
we'll
play
make
through these
that
initial
so that we can
moments. You
regain
see
some
something
of
off in the
ours.
distance. How do I eventually get there?
I want to actually see the full animation. Like obviously I think either can work, but I think it's always fun to get those extra, you know, animated shots thrown in there.
For sure, for sure.
Looks like we've come across some kind of encampment.
It's interesting that I can just
Couple
kind of
things
grapple onto
that
the
draw our
general
attention.
environment.
Let's
Like
go
a
to
lot of
this
times there
lesson
are like
first.
specific points, but it seems
Hi,
like
Legs.
anything
Nice
kind of
to meet
on
you,
that
Furball. Where
general
did you
edge
land?
is sort of fair game for
Hopefully
latching onto,
you guys
Which I
will
love.
Kind of
catch
makes
up
it.
soon.
It feels like a
I'm
little more
heading up to
organic,
the
right?
red light.
Exactly.
P.S. Just
you know,
wow.
there's good and
While
bad
writing
examples,
this,
but
a
for the most part, I
wonderful
really
flying
get like,
creature
oh, okay, I can only hit that one
I'm
yellow
alright
thing.
beside
I
a
can
few
only grapple
scratches,
onto that
but
one
it took
triangle
the
hook.
stealth field prototype you made. Its nest is nearby, but I'm not sure if it's safe to get it myself. I'll wait until we regroup.
So it looks like we've got the glider base there, and it looks like we've got the recipe for
So
the
a big
glider
fan
as
of
well. So we
colored
can start
text.
crafting that.
I'm like,
materials.
Signposting.
Collect those.
Yeah, I'm like, what if I
and then we can
didn't
go ahead and
really have to
craft
fully read it? So
our
it has like
glider.
3 ways to get the information. You can read it, you can glance at the text, or you can hear the audio.
Yeah, yeah.
looks like we've been discovered by a screecher there, so we're just going to run past and hope it doesn't... Yeah, it looks like it didn't quite manage to attack us there, so we're safe. We'll glide down to this next platform. As you can see here, there are multiple directions that we can head in, and so we're going to go this way.
That's really fascinating. Again, with the multiple directions, do whatever you want, which way do you want to go, figure it out. You figure, again, you want to talk about making a game on hard mode, though, not knowing where the player is going to go and what they're going to want to do.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of like when I spoken to like museum curators before, having to anticipate people entering from either side of the gallery and making it make sense for like the cohesion of what the exhibit's supposed to be communicating to people.
For sure.
So that mushroom looks interesting, so let's see if we can try and grab that.
I like that little hiding hole though, you can just kind of walk on through.
Just stay here, get away from
the while the bird, while you kind of like start to see like, okay, what's the pattern, is there a pattern, or what degree is it randomized, you know, really getting to know the world.
Looks like there's a screecher overhead there, so we're just going to wait for him to fly past before we try running up. That's great, and we see another mushroom there, so we can collect that before going on to get the recipe. Looks like we've been attacked, but that's okay. We were on full health from the aid pack that we took earlier, and now we can use our glider to make a quick escape. And now's a great time to open up our inventory and take a look at what materials we need to craft the stealth field. And so we're going to use an advanced maneuver to get to this island here, where we go from the glider to the grappling hook. That's something we left for the players to discover, so that they could get the experience of feeling like the rugged adventurer that we really want them to have. Now that we've collected the materials, we can go ahead and craft the stealth field, which should come in handy when going to that foggy area over there.
That's all we have for you today. Now, we want you to explore the spire.
Thank you so much for watching. We hope you've enjoyed what you've seen and want to get your hands on the game. If you do, you can find Skyloft at the itch.io link below. Happy gaming, and best of luck in the Endless Spire.
Oh, scan!
Shoot. I didn't get the phone out in time. I'm going to have to
hit the QR code.
Rewatch it to get the QR code. That looks great.
Yeah, they're really leaning into the sim elements of the vertical traversal in like to a kind of extreme degree, right? Which I think is nice. It kind of gives it that unique identity of, hey, this is like climbing in a way that feels very natural and organic, to the point where the swing can stop you from like grabbing onto things. I really like
that in their official demo, right? Well, we didn't hook at the right place to get the mushroom. So you can, like, that's really smart, or not smart, but like, that's really cool that like, that is how dynamic the world that they've created is, that even them during their demo are going to be like, well, we didn't hit this one time, but we know where to go get another one. Very good. Very good. I like that. It's been interesting, the diversity in the games we've seen today, Janet. USC Games Expo has so many different creators in it, so many different students now making their stuff. But the fact that none of them have looked or felt alike, and that one is such a survival crafting, let's get out there and explore. Like, hell yeah.
I'm getting emotional whiplash. Like, I'm crying, I'm laughing, like I'm scared, but then I'm like also intrigued. Like, it's really hitting a lot of different beats. And yeah, I'm really enjoying the stuff we're seeing so far.
Well, we got 2 games left, and you mentioned being scared. Impasto is the next one, and it is out to get you. Impasto is a first-person exploration and story-focused adventure game with horror and stealth elements that invites players to step inside the dark imagination of one of history's greatest artists, the Spanish painter, Francisco Goya. Let's take a look.
To my dear Mariano, I hope you understand why I cannot bear to remain in that house.
Oh no,
Well,
Janet, no.
It like hits all the beats, right? First person scary painting.
It's time
the
to
emotional
stop
whiplash
fighting.
you were talking about. Oh, are you in the painting?
I don't know, but they are pulling from like the pieces in there though, to some degree.
You must be prepared for what I have left you.
Oh, that was interesting. I like the camera work.
At times, It may even frighten you.
God,
Yeah, that
no.
dark is too dark.
Oh no!
Dark is too dark.
Signed.
And they got the
with
eating
love.
That
sounds.
eating is so scary.
Goya, asumiendo.
I love a nice little logo play, you know, where you kind of add some design work within the font.
Hi, I'm Alex Tomkow, and I'm the director of Impasto. Impasto is a first-person horror adventure game inspired by the works and legacy of Francisco Goya, the revered yet tortured Spanish painter. Set within a world irreversibly altered by the artist's fraying sanity, the player must use both stealth and wits to survive. My team and I have been working incredibly hard on bringing the world of Goya to life over the past year, and I'm very excited to give you your first look at Impasto.
I don't know, Janet. I like a scary game, but I don't know about this one.
I like that it's pulling in from the artistry, though.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be kind of cool.
To my dear Mariano, I write to inform you that I will soon be leaving Spain behind. Know that I sail from her with a heavy heart, but the Spain I am leaving is not the one I want.
Might drive faster.
War and sickness are everywhere. I tried my best to keep faith, but through my waning health, my body is telling me what my heart tried to ignore.
Also, potentially some voice stuff going on here, at least in that intro piece.
For sure.
Again, I like the clarity of just like, door is locked. You do hear it, but having that extra bit is good.
Nope. Stay away from that. Don't look at that.
The musical cue, too. I'm like, it's probably where I need to go, but not where I want to go. I like that you can see your bag for your like inventory.
For sure.
It's definitely like giving some like classic hallmarks of the bit of horror that I have endured.
I mean, that's the thing is, you know, Janet, better than most. You have to listen to me talk about games all the time. You know that I love horror games, and I've played a lot of horror games. And what I'm immediately struck by is how good this looks. Like, and I just mean fidelity-wise, UI-wise. I mean, there's plenty of games I pay for to talk about on podcasts that don't look this good.
Yeah, for sure. I think they are doing a good job balancing the lighting too, because one of my like beefs is if it's a little like, I get that the shadows are dark, but like once I can feel like I can't see anything.
Yeah.
But I think the candle actually has a nicer like scope to it than like a traditional flashlight would, where it's like a very narrow field of view.
A nice bloom off of it, right?
Yeah, for sure. I'm just like waiting if there's gonna be
I know
like,
what's
you know,
gonna happen.
a jump scare or something. There's like a face right there. Don't like that. I love a mysterious character walk off. Where it's like, hey, am I alone? Am I not alone? Is that person even real?
This one looks familiar.
Child, name yourself.
Mariano Goya.
That is what a cool integration of putting your name into a game.
Grandson of the great Francisco de Goya, and a smear upon his legacy. A gambler, a drunkard, and a disappointment.
Are you here to make amends?
This person's pulling no punches.
Yeah. Because they're all up here, Janet. Right? This is all your thoughts, I bet. I'm on to you. I'm on to you.
What you truly are.
It was that person again. Our hat friend.
I don't know if he's going to be our friend, Janet.
All right, here's where it starts. Oh, the second they tell you know how the game is, right?
Okay.
It's like the second they're telling me to sneak, okay, it's stealth time. Stealth in horror has to be some of the most intense stealth of all
And they got
time.
That sound cue of you being recognized.
Let me play you a song from her past. It'd do you more good to hear for yourself.
Like how throughout this whole area, it's just like random NPC characters that are half like smack talking you, half like, hey, I'm just gonna play you a whimsical tune as this door magically opens.
I would just stay with this dude.
Right? What else do we need?
Unfortunately, I know only fragments, and the rest is lost upon sheets scattered throughout the town. You would truly offer me aid. Thank you.
I feel like you don't see as much with side questing in horror games, so it's kind of nice they have that
horror
included in
games
here.
especially first-person horror games, tend to be so lonely. They tend to be, you're in a haunted house, something horrible's happened, you know, things happen off screen, you get lots of notes. The fact that there's enemies here, and then NPC characters that are like, hey, you know, for you to progress through that door, you need to find my music and get back to me. That's great. And then you got to go hide from these guys because you don't want to screw with them.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see so many like mechanics woven into this in terms of like, obviously it's still like at the core first person stealth adventure in the exploration, but having something like this where you can go into a barrel. I also really think it's cool that you can have those like poked holes out, because that's always the stress too of like feeling you have to memorize maybe the enemy pattern or the timing. So like having a little bit of autonomy there, I think too with like horror, it's so often a push and pull between making you feel helpless and that fear coming from that helplessness, but also giving you the autonomy where you feel like you can do something more than just kind of run away from things.
For sure. Nothing like being underground, looking up through a sewer grate. We've
How
all
many
been there.
grates have we looked up through, do you think?
Hundreds, thousands, maybe.
Oh, the lean too. The lean is a classic thing.
Yeah.
The lean always scares me because even though I know they can't see me when I lean, I'm like, can they? Like, it's, and I hate having to find out. Like,
Learning
so
that mechanic in a game of like, what does that mean to you? What in this world? What does the lean mean?
What can I get away with here? And like, there's always only one way to find out, which is to do it. But I'm like, what if I didn't?
Just play the whole game like doing that.
What if someone just,
Little
what if I
strafe.
just never try? Just will myself through it. I feel like we could hang in this world. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's not getting too crazy yet.
Yeah, that's the main key to it. My back would hurt so much from crouching all day. Crouch walking behind everything.
I really like when horror games do this, though, personally. Like, I'm someone that is, as I say that, someone's going to kill us, but I'm someone that's a little bit more skittish. So I don't do a lot of horror games, but I like the sim elements that horror games do have, and that's sort of been my entry point into that genre.
For sure.
It's like, hey, maybe we're going to die, but also, like, what if we followed this magical page or whatever have you, and just kind of hang out in a creepy world as we, like, do very sim-like.
I marvel so much at the art style for this, of being inside the painting or having at least pieces of the painting pulled out to be part of the world. I really like that. Really good soundtrack too. God, no thank you. But again, great cue music there of it coming after you. But then the run is on. Janet's so scared she just left, by the way. I don't know if anyone noticed. She had enough and she peaced out. She's like, this game's terrifying. Oh, falling platforms too now. That doesn't seem fair. That guy doesn't even have a torch. How would you identify him? Oh, you. Really, I like the HUD element too of them telling you like when it just changed, right? Because you're chasing the music sheet, sure, but now it's hidden somewhere inside, making you understand you're not looking for it blowing around. You've got to investigate. Ooh. So that was Impasto. So scary, Janet left the call.
I just couldn't handle it.
It's
the computer said no more.
I'll tell you, like after you left, we got recognized again. Another guy came out. He wasn't even using the fire. You said earlier we'd survive in that world. We would not survive in that world. You and I would not be able to hang in that world.
It's fair.
Fair enough. Believe it or not, it is almost time for us to go. We have one game left here for the USC Game Expo, or Games Expo, I guess, demo section. And this one, I'm not saying we saved the best for last, Janet, but we might have saved on paper the one that is the most Greg Miller game. We're going to talk about Spook-a-Laylee right now. When a fabled disaster causes ghosts to spill into the human world, an apathetic reaper and a fearless young girl with magical powers must use their musical abilities to fight ghosts and save the world from an endless night. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I was there a Ghost. Like for me, it's always when does it get me on board?
Yeah.
Ghost I was down for. Fearless Girl also down. The musical powers and the magic element of it, I'm here for it.
All right. Well, let's check out our final game of the day, Spook-a-Laylee.
Hello? Is anyone there?
Guess we're taking the ghost out of Ghost Town, huh, kid?
I've always wanted to visit New Orleans, but not like this.
Nice one!
New Orleans is such a
That's
good place
not my
for like
home.
a ghost setting
That's
too.
my hell.
Hey, Jim and Kevin, can we get a pause for a second? Is it
Awesome.
This one's incredibly loud, Jen?
Get it stuff.
A minor chord.
Yeah.
Just for you.
You can maybe just take it from
Roll it back to the let's see some gameplay. New Orleans is such a good.
Hi, I'm Shehan Ahmed, Creative Director of Spook-a-Laylee.
And I'm Weston Bulgettis, the Executive Producer.
Yeah. It also just shows you that like there's so many ways to tell things that touch on the same themes, right? Like there's like the horror way to go with ghosts. There's like this is kind of taking a much more playful look to it.
Yeah, you're on the offensive, right? You don't feel like you're hiding from them,
blocked
scared of them.
I guess I'll have to go through
They
this
shoot
bar.
I really like the lighting. I'm always a fan of like the little bar settings, but I think the lighting is really cool.
Too young to be going to
Reminds me
a
of
bar,
After
you
Party,
know.
actually.
Yeah.
Like neon.
For sure.
놀랐잖아.
I told you to stay back at Rachel's.
And I thought you trusted me. I fought a lot of ghosts by myself.
Oh, you switch.
Why, you think I can't help?
Get on my back.
Oh, so now you want to be partners.
Get on now.
The way he runs is the thing that has really gotten me. I think it's like an interesting take on like mounted combat. Like this is gonna be
the fact I didn't go faster with me around. I'm trying to catch it.
I've never seen a sublime terror this bad.
왜? 집 보니까 좋지 않아?
That's not my home. That's my hell.
Awesome! Lost fight.
Tall, too. Floor is quite literally lava.
I'm not leaving without those instruments. Given luck.
Also, a fan of any character with like a pumpkin on their head.
Ouch! That was my impression of you when I'm done. All right, you guys are lame. I'm out of here. But this won't be the last time you hear from Diesel Knievel.
I'm glad that's over.
Well, I'm going to defeat this ghost. You can come with me if you want.
Hey, wait up. I said to follow my lead, kid. I don't want you dying on me. I mean, if you die, then you'll just be another ghost to reap. More work for me.
Oh, yeah. 늦게 오는 사람이 지는 거다. 출발!
Now, we'd like to give you a little look behind the scenes on the development of Spook-a-Laylee. Let's take a look at the art team.
Hi, I'm Erica, and I'm Spook-a-Laylee's character art director. My job is to help develop the stylistic vision for characters throughout the pipeline, from concept to in-engine assets. So my main challenge is making sure each character fits the universe thematically. So each character is really unique, but all draw from some of the same core elements.
I want that
So they're
Spook-a-Laylee.
all kind of an intersection of spooky, supernatural, and streetwear. And so I do a lot of research for inspiration and draw from Ghibli films and
Yeah, but that second part is work for me. You know what I mean? I have
I
ukulele
also
on the
looked
wall,
at characters
actually.
from folklore and
It's not
popular
imbued with any magical powers, to
and
my
I also
knowledge,
work in
but-
different parts of the character design pipeline, from illustration to 3D modeling, bringing them from concept to functional in-game models so that our animation team can bring them to life.
Hi, my name is Sarah, and I'm the animation lead on Spook-a-Laylee. For us, being animator is a lot of working with designers and engineers
I
to
know.
make sure the combat feels really satisfying and lethal. We usually start with 2D sketches or video references, maybe from games like Nier Automata or Final Fantasy,
Could
and
see that,
then
yeah.
we'll go through some iterations with the combat team.
Yeah, I can see that.
Finally, our visual effects animators and sound designers add a lot of that satisfying juice to the combat.
Hi, I'm Katie. I'm the environment art director for Spook-a-Laylee, which means that I worked mainly on the visual direction of the
I love their
game.
backdrops.
So I was in charge of making New Orleans look like this ghostly, apocalyptic, and abandoned place, and really defining how we'd incorporate weird, supernatural, warped elements.
Some beautiful concept art.
And other little spooky elements like
Yeah,
screen
100%.
lights or abandoned buildings. So I worked with the design team to lead players in certain directions in the world and improve the visual clarity so that players feel fulfilled and never lost on their
Such a key
adventure
component of
through
games.
Yep.
That's what we were just talking about.
So, some additional things I'd like to say.
Whoa! What's going on here? Design.
This is very cute. That's good. The design.
Hello, I am Kevin and I am the combat design lead. So over here at Spook-a-Laylee, we need enemies for Haru and Spooky to whack. So what we kind of decided is like every single enemy should have different approaches to them. So let's say for example, Van Gogh has a face shield and what you have to do is go behind it and hit
I'm
its
here
butt
for
cheeks
Hot
and
Tacos.
stuff like the boss like Diesel, which, you know, play notes and then just like you, and you have to respond to that. And so each enemy is a different threat altogether, and you kind of have to consider how each of them act.
Hi, my name is Daniel. I am the lead world designer on Spook-a-Laylee. Part of my responsibilities include encounter making and pacing throughout the game so that players are appropriately challenged
Oh, yeah,
in all
they're using
stages,
Google Maps.
right up until the boss fight, which is a whole different beast altogether.
It's Elden Ring in the background.
Hi,
too.
my name is Nicole, and I'm the engineering lead on Spook-a-Laylee. As engineering lead, I was responsible for making sure that the QA and usability team was heard. Every week I would make a build on Tuesdays, and then the usability team would take that, play test it, provide us feedback, and then I would make sure that their feedback was heard and incorporated in the engineering process.
The key part of the team.
Hi, I'm Cameron, technical combat designer on Spook-a-Laylee. Now, Spook-a-Laylee is all about casting spells. How do you cast spells? I'm glad you asked. In order to cast spells, you need to play notes. Every sequence of 2 notes is a unique melody, and the melody you play determines the spell you cast. Are notes enough? I'm glad you asked. No, they're not, because you also need mana. Every spell cast consumes mana. Now, how do you collect mana? I'm glad you asked. In order to collect mana, you need to do basic attacks on enemies by hitting them with your sword. But hold on a second, isn't it kind of labor intensive to play notes and do basic attacks? I'm glad you asked. That's why we came up with specials, which is a special action you could do. If you hit an enemy with a sword and play a note right after, you'll do a special move like knocking the enemy up in the air or dragging them down to the ground. And in this way, you can totally streamline your ghost killing activities. If you make use of notes and basic attacks and specials and spells all like a master, you'll become the greatest Spook-a-Laylee player of all time!
It's like
Cameron has too much energy, but I like it.
I think it's got a little crazy
That's
in there.
Greg Miller telling you
Now,
too much
let's go
energy.
talk to some of the more calm members of our team.
Hey, I'm Mitchell, the narrative lead of Spook-a-Laylee, and I had an absolute blast working on this game, although it was certainly tricky at times. The members of the narrative team and I worked tirelessly to craft natural, revealing dialogue that avoids excessive exposition. We were also given the opportunity to brainstorm ideas for environmental storytelling in an effort to craft the spooky world of New Orleans.
Hi, I'm Jacob Ruttenberg, and I'm the audio lead on Spook-a-Laylee. Our game features 2 characters and their instruments. Haru plays a harmonica, and Spooky plays a ukulele. We actually had the opportunity to record with professional musicians who recorded these instruments live for us. And with our amazing jazz music made by our composer, Alex Kapp, we can really immerse the player in New Orleans.
Hello, my name's Aiden Ecker, and I go to Cal State Fullerton. My favorite asset I worked on
This is
has
the
gotta be
USC
the
thing,
jazz
excuse
machine.
me.
It was
All right,
really
we're not talking
fun
about Cal
bringing the
State Fullerton
concept
right
to
now.
We'll edit it in
life,
post.
and it was
I
a
like that
good
too, right? Like
challenge
that kind of
working at
cross
such a large scale.
development across teams.
For sure.
To see more about Spook-a-Laylee, check us out on USCGamesExpo.com. And be sure to follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter.
Oh, they got the TikTok?
Wait,
Honestly,
oh God, what is
more y'all
Cameron
need to be
doing
on
on
TikTok. Play the game. And the QR code. Y'all did a lot. Y'all
Kids
did
are
really
on
well.
it, man. This is why people are going to USC. We've been taking part in the Games Expo, being a USC Games Advanced Games project, learning these kind of techniques. Man, you want to talk about a game with characters? Spook-a-Laylee is it, Janet.
Yeah, I'm here for the piggyback combat is really what I am most into. I think it's both cute and functional, which is probably one of my favorite combinations in gaming.
Yeah, for sure. And I like it, like you were talking about how cute Spooky is, how cute they are together, being on top of each other. They're having a sword, having ukulele, having a harmonica. And then, yeah, using those specials as Cameron was ranting and pounding on the whiteboard. Very interesting. I can't wait to play that. And ladies and gentlemen, those are your 6 demos from this year's crop of USC Games Expo's entrance. Of course, this stream is not ending. Just myself and Janet, we got to go and play all of these games and follow them all on Twitter and get on the TikToks and have a great time. But Janet, did you have fun today?
Yeah, absolutely. What would you say is if you had to pick one, what would be your number one game from the selection?
I think,
and I'll pick a different one just so that we don't cheat.
So I'm about to do the thing you get mad at me all the time on our
Mhm.
podcast for, where I do an honorable mention. Skin Deep is the one that I was the most enamored with, but I kind of feel like cheating because we saw it all the way through to the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I want to
think-
double back and play another game, but I don't want to say it and then steal it for you. But so what is yours? What is yours?
I feel like it's, again, is it recency bias to say Spook-a-Laylee? Like, I think
Okay.
it was very up my avenue in terms of hitting all the beats that I look for. I guess if I also want to be cheap and do an honorable mention, I think toss an honorable mention to That's Not What Happened and Not How It Happened, because
see, that was that was the one.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's the one
such-
I've already downloaded. You can go download it right now.
And I think what's cool is like all these games were so different and they all hit different beats on like what I come to games for. But for me, like the most me games, I think would be those two.
Yeah, and since we're the same person, that's why
Yes.
I picked it as well. And of course, then Impasto, very excited for as well as a horror game fan. I think it's very creepy and scary, and I want to know more about that. But there are plenty of other games for you to know all about here at the USC Games Expo. And even though we're leaving right now to go back to make content for Kind of Funny Games on YouTube, podcast services around the globe, Jesse Cox is here to hang out with you and play some standout selections. So on behalf of myself, USC, and Janet, until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.